Hey guys, welcome back to Random Adventures. Today I'm going to give you a quick overview of this ECOROAD EC10 scooter. This ECOROAD EC10 is going to be quite an upgrade over those basic 350 watt scooters that a lot of people ride. That's because on the power, this scooter comes in at 500 watts nominal, 750 watts peak. The scooter does have a 15 amp hour battery and a claimed range of up to 32 miles. Of course, that's going to be based on the speed you ride, the weight of the rider, and the riding conditions. If you are planning to get 32 miles of range out of a scooter like this, you're definitely going to have to ride this in eco mode. Speaking of which, the scooter does have 3 modes. It does have eco mode, it has another mode called balanced mode, and then it has sport mode. If you are riding the scooter in sport mode, you're probably going to get something more along the lines of 15 to 20 miles. Alright guys, I am 6 foot tall, I have size 12 feet. The scooter is pretty large, but it does have a little bit shorter of a deck compared to the ET8 or the W9 scooter, but it's still got a pretty large deck. I'll show you how I fit on the scooter. I can get both of my feet on the deck with ease, that way or sideways. It does have the little footrest on the back. That's usually how I ride, with one of my feet up on this footrest. Made out of solid metal back here, so pretty sturdy. Another big plus for this scooter is it does have full suspension front and rear. That little noise you hear is just my bag on the front there, a little bit loose. All right guys, let me bring you in, take a closer look at the scooter. Starting up front, you do get a bright headlight up here at the top. They do give you this trunk bag to put on here. I did hang it down a little bit lower because I didn't want it to be blocking my headlight. There is a reflector here in the front also. Here's a look at your front suspension. Here's a look at your 2.5 inch wide, 10 inch pneumatic tires. These do have tubes in them. This scooter does have a drum brake in the front, and it does come with some solid mag wheels. Here's a closer look at the deck. It does say ECOROAD on it. It does have that rubberized pad for grip. There's your metallic footrest. There's your rear fender. In the back, you do get a tail light and a brake light. Here's a look at the suspension in the rear. You do get one of these shocks on both sides. There's a little bit of tape here I need to clean up. Here's a closer look at the motor, guys. You do get some metal valve stems and some metal valve stem caps. There's the numbers on the motor. The tread pattern on the tires looks pretty good for on-road or off-road. Looks like they are geared a little bit more towards road riding, but they do have some knobby treads if you do a little bit of light off-roading. Over here on the other side, this is your charging port down here at the bottom. It is the 5mm style charger. Here's your kickstand. It's mounted here in the center. Back here in the rear, you do get a mechanical disc brake with a 140mm disc rotor, but the scooter does have the EABS also. All right, guys, let's take a look at the handlebars. Here's your brake levers. Get some round rubberized hand grips. This is a pretty cool bell right here, guys. It's like a click bell. Rings either direction. Here's your turn signals. You hit those. They light up here on the end of the handlebars. You got to hit it one more time to turn it off. It does indicate on the display also. Pretty nice display, guys. You can pretty much do all the functions with this one button right here, but you can also control everything through the app. Let me show you, for example, the headlight is on right now. Just press the button one time, the headlight will turn off. Your mode is right here where that little M is. You double click to change those. That is eco mode, balanced mode, and the red is sport mode. You hit the button 3 times. Changes it from kilometers to miles. Hit it again to change it back 3 times. Let's hit the button 4 times and see what that does. I'm not quite sure what that did, but if you hit it 5 times, it's going to turn the cruise control on or off. You get the little cruise control indicator up there. 5 times, you get it again. I'm sure that probably activates and deactivates. Maybe the pressing it 4 times might engage the 0 start or turn the 0 start off. We'll have to test that out while we're riding. All those controls can be done right through the app also. Over here on the right side, you do get thumb throttle and your front drum brake lever. See guys, by hitting that button 4 times in a row, I think we have deactivated the 0 start. Let's hit it 4 more times and see if it reactivates. There's your top speed, 25 miles an hour. So yes, to deactivate or reactivate the 0 start, you press the button 4 times in a row. All right, guys, let's take the ECOROAD EC10 out for a ride. All right, eco mode gives us 11 miles per hour. If you are planning to get 32 miles of range, which is the maximum claimed range on this scooter, this is the mode you're going to need to ride in. Let's turn that cruise control on real quick, and we will see how fast it engages. I'm going to see if I can do it on the ride here. All right, I pressed the button 5 times. Cruise control should be back on. All right, it is on. Engaged really quickly. That's nice. Let me see if I hit the throttle, if it disengages the cruise. It does. Perfect. Just hold it for a little bit. About 5 seconds, cruise engaged. So yeah, if you're wanting to go on a long range ride and get the most out of this scooter, you're gonna cruise around right here, eco mode, 11 miles per hour. Gonna check the hill climbing ability here on this big hill that's coming up. I'm gonna get a little bit of speed for a little bit of run on, because this is a pretty steep hill. All right, we're going 20 right now. Let's see how fast we're going when we get to the top of the hill. It's pulling us up. We're losing a little steam, but we're making it. All right, we peaked out. We're speeding up again. So 215-pound rider, pretty big steep hill there. We started out about 20 and it dropped down to about 13 miles an hour by the time we got to the top of the hill. I rode an e-bike up that earlier and it did almost identical. Pretty nice acceleration again. All right, balance mode is giving you 18 miles an hour. I'm assuming this will give you a pretty good speed and a mid-range on the battery. I put it in sport mode now, guys. Let's see if we can reach that 25 mile an hour top speed. I'm just gonna stop here so we can do an acceleration run while we're at it. All right, from a dead stop. That's all the power right there. Cruise is gonna kick on. So it's kicked on cruise in full power, so still accelerating. 20. There you go, guys. 25 miles an hour. Feels pretty fast. The cruise is not gonna kick off super easy with these brakes. You gotta pull them a little bit harder. If you just touch these brakes lightly, they do have the power cutoffs, but you got to pull them a little bit harder to get into that power cutoff. Otherwise, the cruise is just going to keep on going with you. The other thing you can do to cancel the cruise is just hit the throttle again. I did discover that you can set the cruise on part throttle, guys, so you don't need to change the mode all the time. You can leave it in sport mode. You see, I got the cruise set at 14 miles an hour in sport mode. I just held it at that part throttle until the cruise engaged, so that does work, guys. That's pretty helpful since you don't have to press the button so many times to change modes. All right, guys, I'm going to turn it around now and we'll see what the top speed shows on the radar gun. It was accurate in eco mode. It was showing 22 on the radar gun, guys, and it was pretty steady. So something is lost in translation there on sport mode. I'm gonna go back and check the middle mode. We'll see if that middle speed is accurate. All right, let me put it in that balanced mode, as they call it. And we'll see if the balanced mode can maintain the accurate speedometer. That's kind of funny, guys, because balanced mode is reading a little bit the opposite way. Balanced mode was showing 18 on board and 19 on the radar gun. It is what it is. So yeah, that balanced mode is pretty good, guys. 19 miles an hour. Might get a little bit more battery life, and you're getting some pretty good speed there. So, but yeah, that's a 2 or 3 mile per hour discrepancy on sport mode, showing 25 on board and 22 on the radar gun. But like I said, guys, it still feels really quick on this little scooter. I've already put 4 miles on this thing. I'm gonna ride around the rest of this ride in this balanced mode at 18, 19 miles an hour until I head back home, because we are gonna have a sunset here pretty soon. And we'll see what kind of range I end up with after putting a few more miles on this thing, guys. Let me take it on a little bit of off-road, guys. This is not going to be a big off-roader. This is a 750 watt scooter with a 200-pound rider, but let's see what we can do on this little trail here. Doing pretty good, actually. All right, we made it up that. Let's go down this way. Never been down here. Just some grass, a bit of hills. We do have the 10-inch tires. And the scooter does have a bit of torque. It's definitely not violent or anything like that, but it's getting us through. You can hear that motor working right now. And it got us through all that. So I'm gonna head back to the street, guys. Let me tell you what we just did, that little bit of off-roading there. That was actually in balance mode. That was not even in sport mode. So the scooter does have a little bit of off-road capabilities. Let's do a little brake check up here, guys. We got a drum brake in the front, which is over on the right side. And we got a 140 millimeter mechanical disc brake on the left side and the ABS. Let's pull from about 15 here. Nice. See our trail there from about 15? Took us about 15 feet to stop, 15, 20 feet at the most. So, not too bad, guys. Actually felt pretty good. Seems like the limiting factor on these scooter brakes is always the little tires locking up. Guys, I'm gonna bring the scooter through the town here. We'll do a little bit of sidewalk riding on this broken up sidewalk ahead, and we'll see how this thing feels. This one just feels a little bit nimble, guys. This thing only weighs 44 pounds. First you get a little gravel. All right. We don't want to hit that bump with any scooter. That's a tire cutter right there. That sheared off sidewalk. There we go. Not bad at all, guys. The suspension's doing the work. Nice. Definitely feeling thankful for the suspension right about now. Heck yeah. Guys, this thing rides pretty decent on this broken sidewalk. At this speed, no less. We're going pretty fast for this. I wouldn't say we exactly glided over everything, but it did just fine. And the suspension was definitely doing its work and isolating us from the bad stuff. So it felt pretty good, guys. Let's take a look at the turning radius on this one, guys. About the same as every other one I check. They must have a patent on this turning radius. Let's see here. Do about an 8-foot circle. But like I said, pretty much all the rest of them are like that too. I've been burning through this battery, guys. I'm gonna start heading back the other way. I've been riding in balanced mode. All right, guys, I stopped over here. I'm back in my area. I have rode the scooter 17 miles today. I am down to the last red battery bar. I've been riding a lot on what they call the balanced mode, which is the middle speed. That gives us 18, 19 miles an hour, according to the radar gun. So I feel like that's a pretty good range for this little 13 amp hour scooter with a 215-pound rider. If you are lighter than me, 150, 175 pounds, something like that, you're probably going to be able to get 25 miles of real world range out of this thing. If you feel like riding real slow, 11 miles an hour all day long, you might get that 30 miles that they claim this thing can do. So, but this is what I got at 215 pounds in a real world situation, and there still is a little bit of range left here. At the very end of this video, guys, I am going to put this thing in sport mode, which it's in right now, and I'm going to hammer this thing. I want to see what this last battery bar does at the last moment, if it starts flashing, if it just disappears, if the scooter just dies. So at the very end, I am going to do that. So let me talk about the scooter itself, though. It's a real nice scooter, guys. Clean. It's got full suspension. Got tail light, brake light. It's a little dark out here now, so you can see what the tail light looks like. Let me show you what that headlight looks like. It's actually a pretty bright little beam on that thing. I did have to keep my little luggage bag down lower to not block the light. That's one thing. This thing is smooth, guys. It don't vibrate, don't make any noise, nothing like that. It's got good brakes. It does have this nice color display. Don't forget we got turn signals on the side. I actually bought this one myself, and I gave in the $400 range for it. It was on sale at that moment, and I used some points I had and stuff, and I got it for even less than that. But I checked it today, and it was higher. It was up in the, it was back to normal price in the 600s. I feel like that might be a little steep for this one. I feel like it's a good value in the 400s. If you're going to spend the 600, I would recommend going up to their larger scooter, to their ET8 scooter. That thing is a beast. And it also has a 20 amp hour battery. So I wouldn't spend $600 on this one, guys, but I would spend $400 and something on it. I feel like it's a good value in that range. That's just my own personal opinion. You guys do what you want. There is a little bit of an advantage to getting this EC10. It is a much lighter scooter if you need to carry it around, put it in the back of your vehicle or something. This thing only weighs in at 44 pounds. I did forget to show you guys the folding mechanism, so let me show you that right now. I believe you get this little thing right here out. That's going to hook down there on that little fender. And this thing only has one step to fold it, guys. You just unlock the little lever right here. Fold this down. And so you can actually see, get that little mechanism up under there, and then you can pick the scooter up just like that. Real easy, guys. It only takes one step to fold this thing. Can't get any simpler than that, guys. All right, guys, if this ECOROAD EC10 is the scooter for you, I will put the link for this scooter in the description below the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. If you want to stick around for an extra minute, I'm going to put this thing in sport mode and hammer it and see what that last battery bar does. All right, guys, if you stuck around for that extra minute, it didn't take very long at all. I started hammering it to get this thing to die in sport mode. And what happens at the end here is the battery bar starts flashing, that red flashing light. And it was still giving us 18, 19 miles an hour. And I'm guessing you'll get a little bit of range out of this thing before it dies completely. So at least you know at the very end there, you don't need to really worry about it being fully dead until after that battery bar starts flashing. All right, guys, thanks for watching.